My only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well for one Saul.
Canelo's going to definitely ego kick in and want to do a rematch.
No, I don't know. I don't believe that. You know, I think the warrior spirit might want him to have a rematch, but I don't think the rematch is going to do him any justice, you know.
Terence Crawford, fresh off his historic victory in September, has officially agreed to a rematch with Canelo Alvarez, but he is holding the contract with one firm, non-negotiable condition. Crawford has made it clear that his days as the B-side are over. He is no longer the challenger. He is the champion. And if Canelo wants a chance at redemption, he will have to pay a record-setting price to make it happen. This is more than a negotiation, it's a calculated power move. Crawford is aiming to check Canelo's ego long before the opening bell.
It's no longer breaking news, but Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are apparently in talks for a rematch in 2026, and my only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well for one Saul. Like I said, the Ring Magazine reporting as of about 4 days ago now, I'm a little late to the news, but Canelo Alvarez wants Terence Crawford rematch, says negotiations are underway for 2026. Now, first off, I expect nothing less from Canelo. He wants to get that fight back because, well, number one, it's a somewhat advantageous matchup at 168 for him, and there's not many other matchups at 168 for Canelo right now that offer him any sort of advantages. He says, I want my run back, I want my get back, but I gotta be honest, I don't know how this goes well for Canelo in a rematch.
Terence Bud Crawford isn't refusing the rematch. He is simply insisting on the aside compensation that comes with being the undisputed champion. Today we break down exactly why Crawford is demanding this record-setting purse, why Canelo Alvarez's own promoters are hesitant to finalize the deal, and the surprising insider theory suggesting that the entire rematch narrative may be nothing more than smoke and mirrors designed to preserve Canelo's image.
You know, to Sergio's point, a lot of the people that I'm been talking to when it comes to this fight, they're not like, it's almost like the air was taken out of them. They're not excited about even the idea of a rematch, or the subject doesn't even come up. Usually the conversations are, hey man, is there a rematch clause? You think they'll run it back? What do you think will win? Like, people just, even casuals, realize that Crawford, he schooled Canelo, man. He really did. I don't think people want to see this fight. I agree with Sergio Mora.
Be at a smaller arena because people already saw Canelo get dominated by the better fighter, and the better fighter will do it again even easier and with more confidence.
Yeah.
Te están hablando de una revancha. Yo creo que es más fácil le va a ganar a Canelo.
¿Oh, sí? ¿Por qué?
Yo lo creo. Pues digo, es el estilo de Crawford, no. Yo creo que Canelo ya le gana a Crawford.
Sí. ¿Hay algo que puede ser Canelo para ganar o para hacer la pelea más cerrada?
Bueno, pues lo que todos sabemos, ¿no? Yo creo que a entrarle intercambio de golpes y pues tirar más golpes, ¿no? Pero digo, ahora sí que es boxeo y realmente pues se preparan ya. Si Crawford le ganó una vez y supo cómo ganarle, yo creo que puede ganarle nuevamente, ¿no? Pero digo, no hay nada escrito arriba del ring. Digo, puede ser que una buena estrategia Canelo y pase diferente, ¿no? Pero realmente yo creo que, pues digo, trae ganas y trae hambre Crawford, y digo, pues Canelo ya hizo lo suyo, digo, ya no es lo mismo, pero digo, con que aprender una buena pelea.
Let's get straight to the money, because this is where the power dynamic shifted. In their first fight in September 2025, Canelo Alvarez earned a guaranteed purse of over $100 million. Crawford, despite being the pound-for-pound number one, accepted roughly half that amount just to seize the opportunity to prove himself, an opportunity he fully capitalized on.
Hold on. You keep saying this.
Hold up. Canelo, see, this is the thing about Canelo. He sometimes relies on the environment, the hostile crowd, to also help him win this fight. Not only with the judges, but with the opponent. Crawford even handled that. You know, you can't prepare for that magnitude, the roar of the crowd, the lights, everyone booing you. You can't prepare for that. Crawford was ready for that. Even his ring entrance, when he came in with that guitar case, it was, man, that's one of my all-time favorite entrances.
Desperado. Yeah, it's an homage to Desperado. Yeah.
Actually, it was Mariachi. That was part one. Desperado was part two. That right there, it was me against the world. That was his mentality. Me against all these Mexicans, me against Canelo in Las Vegas, me against Canelo and the judges that he probably has in his pocket, me against everyone, and Bud shut everyone up. And you think
but
Canelo's
hold on.
Canelo's going to be able to do it the second time around?
I don't know. I don't think it's an open
Fight brought in a staggering $45 million live gate at Allegiant Stadium, proving that fans were showing up just as much for Crawford as they were for the Mexican superstar.
Mexican fighter. He's the most successful, accomplished Mexican fighter in boxing history. And Canelo is 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford essentially jumped up 2 weight classes, 3 weight classes, technically 2, and beat Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo, after the fight, said he had no answers. But Canelo was the undisputed champion, so he had a rematch clause. And as I told you guys in the video I did, Terence Crawford is contractually obligated to the rematch. So Bernie the boxer, he reveals that Terence Crawford is demanding that he gets the lion's share. Now, it was reported the gate did over $45 million, close to $46 million gate. It also sold 65,000 people in the arena at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And so with that said, Terence Crawford was dominant that night. Canelo got 150 million reportedly, and Terence Crawford got 50 to 70 million, right? And so now Terence Crawford wants the roles to be reversed, as he should. Now, keep in mind, Canelo signed a multi-fight deal with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, okay? That's guaranteeing him a specific amount of purse. So Terence Crawford is saying, listen, I came out on top, as he did. I'm the victor, as he was, right? It was very successful, not only just because of Canelo Alvarez, but because of me as well, as he's right. And so I demand and I deserve to get paid heavily.
Now Crawford is using that victory as leverage. Backed by straightforward logic, his team's stance is simple. You don't collect the winner's share when you're the one who lost.
So you cannot sit there and tell me that there is a more marketable fight out there for both these guys than running it back once again. Your plan to have him drop down to 160 and fight Erislandy Lara is stupid. Canelo Alvarez is not going to move up to fight David Benavidez now at 175. There's nowhere to go. Like, Crawford could still try to conquer 160, but who is putting up real money for that? Canelo has already cleaned out the 168-pound division. Besides Terence Crawford, where else is he going to go? I just think the more time passes, the more we get away from the outcome of this fight, that's when people are going to start to realize that doing it one more time is in the best interest of both these guys. And for boxing, by the way, because that's another big event that you could put on the calendar.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes to match.
Crawford is now the undisputed super middleweight champion. He holds the belts, the bragging rights, and the leverage. He is demanding a complete role reversal. If Canelo wants the rematch, he must accept the B-side terms, while Crawford takes the $100 million lion's share. It's an ultimatum that strikes at the one place Canelo feels at most his ego. Interview 7, but there's a reason Canelo's team is hesitating, and it goes far beyond the financials. Before the first fight, the prevailing narrative was that Canelo was simply too big and too strong for a welterweight moving up. That myth was dismantled round by round. Eddie Hearn, one of the sport's most influential promoters, has been unusually candid about the likelihood of a second fight. He has openly suggested that a rematch is a bad idea, describing Crawford as a stylistic nightmare for the Mexican star.
His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh understands that Terence Crawford's value is extremely high. And he'll be 39 this September, right? So, again, he deserves to get compensated. Now, the question is going to be, is this rematch going to sell enough? Well, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh truly don't really care about, the purses, right? He just wants great fights. But is it going to garner the money to pay out those purses? Right? That's where the question lies. But Terence Crawford deserves it. And he's demanding that he gets $100 million, as he should. As he should. He has more to lose than Canelo Alvarez. And he can get a legacy fight at middleweight to now, I don't want to say pad his stats, but to pad his stats. If he competes at middleweight, right, and becomes undisputed at middleweight, that'll make him a 4-division undisputed champion and a 6-division champion overall, right? He has more to gain than Canelo Alvarez, right? And he has more to lose.
The reality is that the first fight wasn't decided by a lucky punch or a close split decision. It was a comprehensive dismantling. Crawford exposed Canelo's struggles with elite lateral movement and switch-hitting precision. Canelo didn't just lose, he looked lost. Now his promoters find themselves trapped in a nightmare scenario.
You're going to get beat by, I was going to say young, sharp guys. Terence is 38, and I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
38.
Crazy.
I heard Shakur saying last night that he says he thinks he should and will retire from the sport. But I don't know who else is out there for Crawford. I mean, he's only going to want to fight for 20, 30, 40 million. But who is there to fight for that kind of money? I'm not sure, The
rematch, you think the rematch would be of interest?
I don't think Canelo will want a rematch.
Yeah.
I think there's a rematch clause. I don't know.
There's not. Yeah.
So, it's very unusual for Canelo to go into a fight without a rematch clause.
Yeah.
But for me, I just can't see Canelo going, yes, I want to.
They do have a rematch clause they can trigger, but they also know that stylistically, nothing changes in 6 months. If they agree to pay Crawford $100 million, they're essentially funding a second humiliation for their star fighter, one that could permanently damage Canelo's status as a top-level attraction. His team is now trapped between a rock and a hard place. Look weak by avoiding the rematch, or look reckless by spending a fortune on a fight they expect to lose.
Hey, yo, peace to the family. I just got through looking at a video that Bernie the Boxer shot. Shout out to my man Bernie over there in Omar, man. Bernie the Boxer. Shout out to him, man. Bernie, pretty much, as you guys know, Saul Canelo Alvarez is being reported that Saul Canelo Alvarez wants to fight the rematch with Terence Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford, currently the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. So now, according to Bernie, now this is what Bernie said that Bud told him, according to Crawford. Bernie said that in order for, if Canelo want that rematch, he got to get paid $100 million. Meaning, Bud got to get paid $100 million. Now, and guess what? I told him the same. It's amazing that Bernie said that, because I told Bud that prior to Bernie coming out saying it publicly. I'm like, look, according to what y'all said, what we heard, Canelo got paid $100 million or something of that sort to fight Crawford. Crawford reported that he only made $10 million. But I'm telling you, he made more than that. He made way more than that. You know what I mean? It's being reported also that Crawford made $50 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. And I'm saying, okay, look, and he was the B-side. Now that Crawford is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, if Canelo want to run it back, guess what? Crawford got to get the...
However, there are growing whispers that the entire negotiation may be nothing more than a facade. Bernie the Boxer, prominent voice within the boxing community, who's been closely monitoring both camps.
It's up to Turkey. Whatever Bud can negotiate, that's fine. But guess what? And I know Canelo's the bigger draw. That ain't the point. The point is you lost. He lost to the small guy, the guy that moved up from welterweight, beat you. He showed that he was levels above you, Canelo. So now guess what? He needs to get levels above you pay. That's just the reality of the situation. He made 50 his last fight. You know what I mean? I know he said he made 10, but it is what it is. They say he made, from what I've learned, he made 50. And Canelo made 100. And then now, guess what? They need to flip it. If Canelo want to make 100, fine. No problem with that. But guess what? You got to pay Crawford 100. The $100 million man. Let him see what it feel like to get paid $100 million. It's as simple as that. If Canelo want that fight again with Crawford, if Turk Al-Sheikh tell him, look, Canelo, we only have 150 million for this fight. Crawford wants 100. If you want to fight him, take 50. See what Canelo says. And if Canelo believes he can beat him, take that and beat him. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is, fam. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. I hope Bud get his money. You dig? Catch you guys on the next one. Leave your comments below. You know my motto, don't beat me there, beat me there.
Recently introduced a bombshell theory. He believes the rematch talk is largely manufactured driven by internet clickbait and that Canelo has no real intention of stepping back into the ring with Crawford. According to this view, the noise exists solely to keep Canelo's name in the headlines, while his team quietly searches for a safer path forward.